Good morning. I'll call the commission meeting to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Western Commissioner Johnny Williams.
Present.
Eastern Commissioner Bradley Jackson.
Present.
Presiding Commissioner Lynn Martin.
Present. If you'll join me with a pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here today. It's a rainy day. Okay, we've got a lot of things on the agenda today, and appreciate everyone being here. So we have approval of today's agenda. We have no minutes to approve, and we have no financials. We'll keep everything in order of the other items for consideration, and I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
So moved.
Okay, got a
I'll do this. I'll take the second.
And we got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We'll go straight into the agenda today. The first thing on the agenda is the holiday schedule for 2026. After discussion with Miss Maddie and with Miss Amber, we have established for 2026 at this time 14 holidays. I'm going to read them. They are New Year's Day, Martin Luther King's Day, Lincoln Day, President's Day, Truman Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, Day after Thanksgiving, and Christmas Day. Now what we're going to do, because Miss Maddie explained to me that it's much easier to put these holidays in her system now than to try to take things out later on. And so we still have one day that I'll be working with Judge Johnson on, and that's the day before Christmas. A lot of us think it'd be a nice thing. A lot of people travel the day before Christmas. My family always celebrates for the last probably 30 years Christmas Eve. So we have people coming in too from different places, and so it just would maybe be nice. They don't have that day approved in Kansas City for the judicial system, but I think as time goes along, Judge Johnson might make that another day where we can coordinate and have the same schedule as the court system. So at this point, I need a motion to approve the 2026 holiday schedule as stated.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. The next item on the agenda is special event ordinance, and a couple of years ago we passed that ordinance because of some issues that we'd had over on the 4 East side with marijuana and different types of parties and not having a permit and not knowing. No one knew. The sheriff's office didn't know. Resource management, emergency management, just none of us knew what was going on. And so we made a much better ordinance, everyone together. And Commissioner Jackson was asking me the other day, and we have a situation now, I think, that we've really got a great first step in taking care of. And talking to Sheriff Brad Cole yesterday, I'm really happy. I don't know if the other commissioners know this or not, but he has signed a contract for the rest of this year, and hopefully they'll continue it this next year, that his deputies will help Estes Farm. They have so many great activities out there that's creating good for the community as far as the business and people being able to do fun things, but could be a hazard and a dangerous area to drive through and try to park and walk across Fremont Road that's extremely busy and backs up traffic at the stoplight at CC and things. And so now we understand it went much better last week with the sheriff's deputies, and they're going to continue that through December because he's got a lot more activities going on. I think the thing I want to ask and we get input from out there too, is from the commissioners and Mr. Phil, because he's the one that receives those applications. I think, Commissioner Jackson, you were talking about, Mr. Estes said that he would like to have a permit that he didn't have to do one every time. he'd like to have,
Well, I had
put them in packets?
I had a conversation with him. There was a small incident out there where he had private security that was helping people across the street, which is not something that can legally be done. Law enforcement's the only one that can stop traffic on a roadway. And so when I had the conversation with him, he's like, well, I would much prefer to work with the sheriff's office, and it'd probably be better for me, and it takes the liability off him. His concern was, I'm going to have 10, 15, whatever events a year, and I don't want to have to go down to the courthouse 10 or 15 times. Is there a way I can provide you a 1-year schedule of events and run one permit with all of those dates on it? And I talked to the sheriff about it, and he didn't seem to have a problem with that aspect, and then running it through with everybody. If we had all of the dates, we could put it all on our calendar. He could come in and do one permit. To me, that's the easiest way to do it, rather than having to repeat the process multiple times through the year. So, and he probably would be one of the few that would be in this situation. And but if there were others, it would just be easy to have multiple dates on one permit, and it'd be on everybody's schedule. Everybody knows about it. So I think the process we got is really good. We're not trying to curtail anybody from being able to have events. We just need to make sure that public safety is primary focus that we have, and we take care of everything. So.
No, I think that's good, and I guess my only question is, and maybe we can open that up to Phil and the sheriff and Commissioner Williams. I mean, do we do it just, and they do, they probably have more events than anybody else in Christian County, and that's great. I'm just wondering if he may add some things somewhere along the line. If he's trying to do a 1-year calendar, man, I applaud him for that, how hard that would be to try to know everything 12 months ahead of time, what you're going to be doing. So we have choices. We could do it semi-annually. I mean, I think quarterly, I think he probably can do more than quarterly, but it's just whatever you guys think, but I'm not against it all. Making an exception to the ordinance. Mark, do you think that's...
I think that's probably the way we'll need to go, is to a new order or an addendum to the old order, so that we can adjust and allow multiple event permits perhaps, or something of that nature. So
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to have really anything that's going to be a surprise, because there's a lot of planning that goes into having an event, so you get it on your schedule, you start sending information out. He has vendors that come to these events, they've got to get it scheduled. So I think he's got his schedule locked in January every year for what he's going to be doing that's big enough to cause that. Smaller events, if he hosts weddings or whatever, he's got enough parking on site for that. But it's when he has these 20 or 30 vendors or whatever, that he just doesn't have enough parking on his site necessarily, or people are not even thinking about it. He's got enough parking and they're just parking across the street. But he also does the drone show, which last year at Christmas he did a drone show that was spectacular. But people were parking at the West Elementary and Sunrise Baptist and Cassidy Methodist, and then once the drones were over, it was chaos to try to get out of there, and it would have been easier had the sheriff's office been able to be there to direct traffic, because the signalized intersection just was not flowing traffic very smoothly. And so I think this would definitely be something that would help us out. It would help them out. It'd help the citizens out.
Yeah. Sheriff, do you think the odds are pretty good that you're going to also have a contract next year for the whole year 26 with Mr. Estes?
Well, so I met with him, I don't know, it's been a month ago, with the concerns, and he was a little bit apprehensive about hiring us to take care of what needed to be taken care of. After the first event he had that we were there, pretty much he saw the benefit and the flow of traffic and how we were getting people in and out. So he understands now, and has contracted for every event that he has left throughout the year. He's already contracted to have deputies there taking care of that. I honestly don't see any reason why he would deviate from that in the future. One, it takes a huge liability off of him, And it makes the flow much better of getting people in and out. So, I mean, I can't answer that question, only he can, but my suggestion to him was, the minimal cost that it cost you to have us do this, you're much better off, so.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
good with that permit being a year at a time, ahead of time for the special?
Well, I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with the sheriff's office, that's strictly with whatever you guys decide.
I guess, I mean, are you good with the scheduling of that for the year, the whole year, or whatever, knowing that ahead of time for the special permits, same concept? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine with us.
Well, it would help you with your scheduling
Yeah.
of officers too, so, I mean, the problems we have over there, he has permission to use Cassidy Church. He has permission to use the church parking lot, and that's important. But the problem with that is, you got that parking lot full, and they're all having to walk across the street, Fremont Road, which is busy, and that's a dangerous situation in the dark, walking across the street. It's not well lit, and so that's a situation. And just the narrowness of Fremont Road is another danger. And then the light down there at CC in Fremont, when that changes, you got people driving pretty fast. They don't realize what's going ahead up that hill, and so we got all these things. So that's why I feel very comfortable with your department being there, but I do think it makes sense. We don't want to inhibit his business. We don't want to interfere with his business, but we want, just like Commissioner Jackson said, our number one priority is public safety. You could run a great event very quickly if somebody had a wreck or got hurt or run over or something. His proximity of entry and exit on his property is kind of, some people don't know. They're trying to turn in the exit when they need to go a little bit further and turn in with your people, they're going to get that figured out and controlled it better. So, Mr. Phil, are you okay with
I was trying to think, I know, I'd just be careful what you do with him, because you're gonna have to do it for everybody.
Well, yeah,
So,
if we make this exception to this ordinance, we're going to, other people will be
Yeah,
on
you
top
have
of it.
to, yeah. And the filling out that special event, he doesn't have to come down here to do that. That's online, and it's form fillable. He can do that online in a matter of 5 minutes. So that's not that big an issue, but I can see the benefit of having a list to plan for the year, but things change, so he could plan something in July that's only supposed to be a small event, then he keeps adding stuff in, it becomes a big event, so we need to have to keep on top of, has anything changed, you know? But I don't think I can make an argument either way. So.
Okay. Well, and I mean, one option would be to, this first year, 2026, kind of meet in the middle, compromise, have a 6-month calendar and have them do it twice a year. We see how that works out in 26, and then we decide in 27, if that works out real well, we can go to an annual, or we can start out that way, so.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I think all of us want to make sure that we're not interfering with business. We want to promote business, but we also want to make sure that none of us want to be responsible for anyone getting hurt on an event, and we want to make sure it's a pleasant event and everyone gets home safely, and so that's our only concern. So I would be open to whatever you all
Yeah, I think directing staff to create an addendum to this ordinance so we can modify it for, and I think 1 year is fine.
And the big thing with that is the location being the same location, the same setup. It's not like they're coming in and setting up different.
Yeah, it's not temporary setups,
Right.
it's permanent
It's already
setups.
there, you know, the 2 entrances, the outs.
And again, there may be some others that pop up in the future, but historically, I can't think of anybody that's doing
I think it would be
multiple
more,
events out in the
more
county.
about in that addendum, just making sure that it is a set location with the same thing, if you're giving them the permit throughout, instead of somebody maybe having a field and going, hey, I'm gonna do 12 events in this field this year, just want one deal, and then it's bigger, having different outlets or different road, things that maybe that they need to go through to see, so.
And even in the checkoff process, I mean, we've got multiple agencies that are reviewing it,
Right.
so that gives them the opportunity.
You just don't want somebody to be able
voice
to
any of their
bypass, like
concerns.
he's saying, bypass something, having some massive event when they were just filling something out ahead of time, saying, well, I filled it out, and then this changing, having a big fireworks show, and it wasn't going to be, it was supposed to just be a little booth setting or major, something major, but it's a fixed location that has it, so I think that just probably needs to be written in that addendum somewhere to do with, locations and changes of things, so.
I think the biggest thing with this is not really control anything, but it's the awareness thereof. So
Yeah.
you have the sheriff or Greene County that has a police chase that are chasing a felon. And then you have this massive event that's going on that makes a difference in the response. You have 20 people that get hurt at that event, that puts the entire Southwest Missouri healthcare system in disaster mode if
Right.
you have 20 trauma patients.
Right.
So you have a big structure fire that's in that area. You have to alter fire truck routes. So it's just an awareness thing in my mind mostly.
Okay. Do we want to make a motion to have Mark, our in-house counsel, to prepare
I don't know if we necessarily need a motion.
Just have him
to
do
just,
it? Yeah.
I think if there's a consensus here that, we'd like to have an addendum for the
Yeah.
special event permit
And
to
once
include our concerns.
And I'm assuming once it's written up and done, then we
Bring it
vote
back.
on it. Yeah.
Okay, then I think that's what we'll do. The advantage for everyone on YouTube this morning, watching it later on, and everyone that's here today is we're really blessed to have in-house counsel today, and since Mark got here, because I can already see, and we all can see the advantages we have of having someone here, an attorney here who represents our county here every day. From 8 o'clock to 4:30, and when we need to ask a question, when we're just sitting here thinking about something, somebody asks us something, he's always available. So I think this will definitely continue to help our county. So Mark, that's what we'll do, is we'll just charge you to come up with an addendum, and we will then probably vote on it, look at it, vote on it on December the 4th.
December 4th.
Yeah, okay. All righty, the next item, good discussion. The next item is Billings Special Road District. They've got a special levy election in '26. So is one of the Billings Special Road District?
Well, we can come over here and we'll talk. Let's see. Okay. Danny Garvey with Billings Special. Currently, they have a special levy that will expire in 2026, so they are wanting to renew that special 35-cent levy. And
Okay.
Danny, if you want to say what it's for or anything like that, that's...
It's just for normal road improvements and normal day-to-day stuff.
That's the same
It's-
35 cents
it's-
that runs every 4
That
years.
levy
Every
has
4
been that way
years.
before me. I don't know when it actually started.
So you're just doing a revolving 4-year
Yeah.
levy,
He-
so it's not
4-year
hit by the
levy, that's
Hancock
every
Amendment, it's
4
just
years.
renewed every 4 years?
It's renewed every 4 years.
Okay.
He submitted a petition.
It just
We
goes to the
verified,
vote.
we verified the petition that there are at
Basically.
least 10 voters in that district that can vote. So everything is in line that it just needs to be reapproved for them to hold an election to have
Okay.
it voted on by the people.
Who pays for that? Is that the county or is it through the county?
Billings.
Okay. I just didn't know,
Yeah,
so I was
yeah,
curious.
they'll pay for it.
Okay.
Okay, no, I appreciate you being here today, and need a motion to approve the levy in April. for the levy, road levy?
So moved.
Okay. Got a motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes, good luck on that.
Yep.
I think that should be a good one for you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Bill Amtower, John Wilson. There's some people coming in right now. I don't see John. Was John Wilson going to come today, or?
I thought so.
Yeah.
He was told that the meeting started at 9 o'clock whenever we put it on the agenda a month or so ago.
Might have
and
to
he's
push
gonna
that
put
one
it
towards the
in.
end.
Okay.
And then you
I
guys
tell you,
change.
yeah. That's
The property owner's signing in right now.
Okay.
We can wait until the
Yeah.
end of it then.
Yeah. We will just delay that and go to the next one. Make sure that we've got him. So we'll do EMA third quarter report. So come on in. Hi. John's here now, but we'll do EMA report, and then we'll do that. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Good morning.
Morning.
Apologies that we are just now doing our third quarter report.
That's okay.
But third quarter was an incredibly busy quarter. I tried to sort of narrow it down for you guys because all the details can kind of get overwhelming. But we did complete 2 exercises during the third quarter. The first was through the local LEPC and in conjunction with City of Billings for a train derailment and hazmat incident. We had great turnout. I want to say it was close to 40 people showed up. Great discussion, several hours long, and some action items came out of that we are working on as the LEPC as well. So that was excellent. We had a search and rescue CERT exercise as well during the third quarter, so we got probably another 8 to 10 people trained in our search and rescue procedures. That involved a 3-hour class the night prior, just going over sort of the logistics, and then an exercise the day of where we found Randy, the dummy. I don't know if you guys know Randy, but we located him in the woods out by Finley Farm. So, Operation Polar Bear is an exercise that we have been working with Cox on. It was actually completed in the fourth quarter, but Operation Polar Bear sort of goes over an 07 ice storm scenario where communications are lost. And so that's something that we were in the planning stages of during the third quarter. And also we were part of the SMESO Central City Tabletop Exercise Planning during the third quarter, which was also completed in the fourth quarter, and that was also an 07 ice storm, but all of southwest Missouri. So yeah. Several community events. Our disaster animal response team had a very successful event, got several dogs microchipped, were able to provide some education and raised about $2,500. So we, as Phil always says, you're doing great if you're a dog in Christian County. So, and we had our we had our Ozark Craft Fair Festival. We had lots of volunteers come out to support that, so we were able to safely direct some traffic at the Ozark Craft Fair Festival. And they said, Ozark PD said thank you for the the most boring year ever, or something along those lines. So I think it was, we implemented a few new procedures, and I think that made some things a little bit more efficient this year, and so that seemed successful. We helped with Billings Labor Day Parade traffic control, Clever Homecoming Parade traffic control. In the third quarter, we also had, due to some reviews of federal grants and then government shutdown, there was a compressed timeline in the third quarter for finishing grants, and also for submitting some new grants. And so, as you see on the third quarter report, we closed a couple. We are in progress on one. We submitted applications for 2, and then your paper is incorrect. It says we were recently awarded 2. It's actually 1 because the funding for the second one was cut, and so we've been recently awarded another one. We worked really hard on community and volunteer education in the third quarter. We got almost everybody over at the health department trained in CERT, and so close to, I want to say 15 to 20 new volunteers through the health department, which is going to be a great asset. We completed a first aid class for children. That's not first aid on children. That is 9 children went through a basic first aid class, and so we taught them some basic skills on what to do during an emergency. Let's see here. We had several trainings for our general CERT membership, and that included a wilderness search and rescue course that several of our volunteers had attended in the second quarter, and then we brought it back and condensed it and taught it to additional volunteers. So we had 6 fire corps responses, which was pretty extensive. We're getting incredibly popular among fire corps response, and so that's something we're looking at, making sure that we can maintain that response at a high level while also making sure that we are appropriately taking appropriate care of funds that are in the nonprofit account. And then we assisted Christian County Dispatch with radio testing. They had to test throughout the county in order to make sure that new radio systems worked, and so our volunteers assisted with that. We were able to assist City of Nixa with the sinkhole response a little bit. And then we had a lot of meetings as well, and those are kind of boring to talk about, so I won't bore you with it. But what questions do you have for me?
Comments, questions?
I don't have any.
I would just say a couple of things. So you have an annual volunteer dinner coming up, right?
Yes, I didn't even put that in there, but yes, we do.
And how many volunteers roughly do you and Phil and Cheryl have?
Yeah, so it's really hard to say, but I knew you would ask this question, so I tried to come prepared. So over the past 15 or so years, we've trained about 1,336 people in CERT, give or take. We probably have about 100 active volunteers. I don't have the volunteer numbers written down. Phil, do you remember how many volunteer hours?
Yeah, it's about 100, 120 that we can get out.
What about volunteer hours? Do you know
Volunteer hours is
this year?
over 2,000 this year.
I think the thing I want to point out, I mean, emergency management is a very small department. There's just 3 of you, right? I mean, that's amazing. And think of all the things that you've done this third quarter and this year. And most of the things never made the news because there are important things that you're doing and things that you need to be doing. But if we ever had a catastrophe, I mean a major catastrophe, hopefully we don't ever have it, but you know, who knows? And when that happens, it's not just you 3, it's all of a sudden hundreds of volunteers are going to come up if we have a tornado like we did a few years ago on the outskirts. I mean, we are prepared, and just to brag about Mr. Phil, I mean, he's not just recognized as the best in the state of Missouri, he's recognized as the best in the country, one of the top in the country, and you and Cheryl. And so I just want people to understand. And in grants, you guys are always bringing me grant applications, and you guys get grant money. And again, I just want citizens to know, we would not be able to provide the services in this county if we did not get all the grants. The Sheriff's Department, he's here today, they get lots of grants. There's a lot of different people. Ms. Miranda in the Road Department, they get grants. we wouldn't be able to do what we do today without grants. And so thank you again for that, okay? A good report,
Thank you.
okay? Alrighty, next item on the agenda, we got Highway Administrator, Miss...
Nope.
No,
We're gonna
sorry,
go back.
we're gonna go back to,
Take care of
we're gonna go, yep, we're gonna go back to John Wilson and Phil Amtower. You wanna come up here and we're gonna present what Light the Way, we got an application for an event, a very important event this summer.
You know, I think you're all gonna be surprised when I leave. It's not gonna be that much different.
You're not going anywhere. What are you talking about?
You can't retire.
You all, I'll let you have a chance to look at the festival permit, and we had this 2 years ago, and we had no issues. It was a glorious event, actually, no problems, everything went off without a hitch, and everybody was happy, and we sang Kumbaya afterwards. And it was,
I didn't hear you, Phil.
But John wanted to have another one, same property, a little bit less this time, don't you think?
It's possible.
But you never know. But there's specific statutes on what we're supposed to do with the festival permit. So he's applied, and there was a window that we had to get this approval in. So we're here today to get your approval for this permit. The only thing, the insurance, did you bring?
Yeah, so our insurance, we currently have Christian County and Commissioners' employees currently under our liability insurance right now, as it stands, because we get a year, and means that we moved last year to try a new location. We're going to come back here for various reasons, but that was a year coverage, so literally you guys are still on our liability until February 2026. And then I talked to our agent yesterday, and it's on auto renew. So once that ends, a new policy will come in, and we'll send it over immediately to Phil, so that all next year, 2026, you guys will be covered. The city, I think, as well, is under that, and then everyone under the county is under that too.
We had the same issue the first time. His policy expired in February, and so I think in your whoever makes a motion just need to make it contingent upon a new insurance.
Because I can't get it now. I have to wait till the policy ends.
And we got to coincide with the sovereign immunity limits, and I'm not sure when that changes, because every year that changes. It's adjusted with inflation, so he needs to make sure with his agent that that's enough to cover that. So
we have $2 million is our limited liability insurance that we get, which is more than enough than what most other entities require us to do. I think it's $1 million, and we have $2 million is what we get.
Any comments or questions?
No, not necessarily.
I would just say, John, and Amy, thank you. A great organization. I have no fear at all about how Light the Way runs things. I heard so many. I did not get to go 2 years ago to your concert. I've gone to several of your outdoor concerts, and it's a blessing. I would just say that what I heard when you were here the first time, you couldn't tell that anyone had been on that property. It was immaculately clean. There was no trash, no damage, nothing, okay? And I think that speaks volumes to the type of people that were there, and the owners of the land and everything. Your organization, because you have a very highly skilled organization that knows how to put these concerts together. And you're doing a great service to people. And so I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for saying that. My team, and we have volunteers.
Yeah,
we probably have over 200 volunteers, and they do a fantastic job. They like to. make me look good, and I like looking good, so
Yeah,
you do a
well,
great job.
no, yeah, we look forward to having you guys here again this year. I need a motion.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
What, am I forgetting anything?
Well, I don't know that you're forgetting anything. One thing that I haven't seen this year, John, I have not seen your site plan.
It's going to be the exact same as 2023. I just need to change the date.
Okay.
I actually,
Your stage setup and everything?
it's going to be exactly the same.
Okay.
And I can send this to you if you want, but yeah, there'll be no difference.
Yeah, the only thing that we had a little bit of trouble with the last time, and it was, I don't think it was any fault of yours. I think it was some unhappy local people that traveled through there.
Mhm.
I happened to be standing there in the road directing traffic at one point and took a pretty good cussing from somebody because of traffic backups. But
Did you give him one of our Bibles?
Rest assured, I took care of that situation. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's just a minor, it's
Yeah.
a minor difficulty as long as we have the site plan and everything
Yeah.
that we can set up and make sure that we have the proper people in place. It shouldn't be an issue.
I don't foresee us changing anything as far, I think everything that we did in '23 was phenomenal location-wise. You know, when we come into communities, we're not going to please everybody. We're just not. But our heart is we don't want to be a burden on any department that is a part, whether it's city, county, EMS, fire, whatever it is. We don't want to be a burden. We want to be a blessing. So to only have one or two issues like that in a magnitude of an event like this, I'll take that any day of the week.
Well, and I'm sure the sheriff's department and your group and everybody, we're going to try to accommodate and not try to create a problem. But I mean, you know, as you see all the road work that's being done by MoDOT or our county or whatever, I mean, there's always inconveniences. And yeah, we get phone calls every day. Somebody's upset somewhere in Christian County because we're doing road work. But once it's done, just the same way once an event's over, there's so many more positive things, more blessings than there is a little bit that you might be inconvenienced just a little bit.
Well, I think the biggest thing is the economic push that we bring into the community, because we have several people that come from all over the
Sure.
country that come
Yeah.
here, and they're spending money.
Yeah, and we're showcasing Ozark and Christian County, and that's very important.
We're happy to be back.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys are back too.
So you're asking for approval of the permit
Yeah. I think
contingent on the
contingent
insurance,
on
but
the-
it has not run through all the different offices yet.
Yes, everyone has approved it.
So just make it
But the sheriff
contingent
had
to the site
questions,
plan.
so-
Yeah, I looked over, I didn't see any issues with it. The only thing I hadn't seen was the site plan.
So we'll just make
It's
it
the
contingent
same-
to the insurance and the site plan, and that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, has all the different offices seen the site plan? Has the fire department seen it?
Yeah, all the road district, ambulance.
All right, well, I'd make the motion to approve their special event permit contingent on their insurance being renewed with the proper limits.
A second.
Okay, thank you. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this is an awesome event for Christian County.
Thank you.
And I think Ozark Special Road District had already approved it too.
They did. I was at their
Yeah,
meeting.
Yeah, and so we appreciate them sending us information that they had done that. That's good communication, so. Okay, thank you, Mr. Phil. Thank you, John.
You bet. Thank you all.
All righty, next thing will be Ms. Beatles, sales tax distribution program.
You guys gonna dance or what?
We kind of first-class service.
We're going to keep you around, Mr. Phil. You're setting a good example.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, I've been a part of the sales tax distribution program for 11 years now. The program has existed a lot longer than that and in many different forms, but essentially the county shares a portion of its, one or both of its half-cent sales tax levies to assist, previously it was to assist the cities and the special road districts with funding. Up until 2012, that was based on mileage, and at that point, from the notes that I've read, the state auditor gave us a bad mark and said that any funds that we share have to have an IGA that goes along with it. And then in 2012, the program was created where the specials in the cities would essentially apply for funding. There was an application that they filled out. Funds were distributed based on that. There were, back in 2015 or so, there were maxed caps that we were sharing about $1.2 million with the specials in the cities. In 2020, Commission voted to no longer share with the cities. At that point, they were outpacing our dollars per mile at the county, essentially 10 to 1 is what they were having. Now, they have a lot more things that they have to take care of. They typically have curb and gutter, stormwater, sidewalks, et cetera. So it wasn't really apples to apples, but we had removed the portion where we provided to the cities. Since then, we've still been providing to the special road districts. At this point, we're funding all 6. There's a maximum award amount of $100,000 for each of the specials. So we budget $600,000 to be potentially dispersed every year. It's not typical that all $600,000 is dispersed because, again, we try to base this on need. So if the specials are coming in and they just want to overlay a road, like preventative maintenance type stuff, they score a little bit lower. If a special has a need that they show they actually can't fund themselves, they get a higher score and we disperse higher funds. Today, though, what I'm asking is that the Commission consider phasing out the program to the special road districts. It's kind of hitting a critical point here at the road department where a lot of the discussion that surrounded the use tax kind of explained what was going on across the county, but especially in the highway department. While we're staying fairly stagnant with the sales tax, the price for everything that we need to do, from paving roads to the even our in-house oil changes, they're getting more and more expensive. Products are more expensive, services are more expensive. So even though we might have the same amount of money coming in, the value of that dollar is not what it was 5 or 6 years ago. Another critical item that we have is it's getting exceedingly more difficult to tell the folks out in the public that we don't have the funding to help you this year or next year. The part that we don't say is, well, we're also sharing funds that we don't necessarily have to share. So the house might be on fire, but we're holding some water to put that out and we're just not doing it. So what I have presented to you guys today are 3 options. Option A is to provide 1 more year of full funding. So FY26 would be $600,000 available to the special road districts. The following year and the years to follow that, we would reduce that amount by 25% until that eventually hits 0. Whatever percentage that we hang on to for that particular year is evenly distributed to C1 and C2. So the first year that it reduces by 25%, that's $150,000, so $75,000 would go to C1, $75,000 to C2. We put that directly into our road maintenance budget to put those dollars on the ground in the county. Option B is to actually start that same program but not have 1 more full year. So we would start FY26 with the 25% reduction, then continue from there. And then of course option C is make no changes to the program and we just keep going as is. In the packet, I've also provided some background information. Both the clerk and the auditor shared information that I kind of tabled and graphed. Have some tax levies in there going back to 1998. It does show some of the specials in there that no longer exist, like Terrell Special, Clever Special. Those were phased out in the early 2000s. But I tried to condense that to the last 10 years as well, had a separate graph where you can see where the levies are. The most notable, which was a coincidence, Billing Special has their additional levy on the agenda today, but you can see where they've had a pretty high levy for a while. And then also in 2022, maybe, Ozark Special had an increase that was approved by the voters that raised their levy. C2 has always been 0. C1 was 0 for the longest time and then jumped, and then it got cut in half and it's been steady at that rate there. Also created a table where I tried to put this kind of in a summary form of dollars per mile. So the FY24 total revenue with cost per mile, there's a cost per mile with the sales tax program and then a cost per mile without the sales tax program. Some of them you can see with the sales tax program, they're earning up to $20,000 per mile, and the county's still at $3,000 or $4,000 per mile. Without it, a lot of those jump down, the biggest probably being Stoneshire, but they only have 5.3 miles altogether. It essentially functions like a subdivision. The other thing to note in there is that everyone except for C1 and C2 has all paved roads. So for the most part, these folks are doing preventative maintenance. Sometimes they'll have larger need projects where they have a washout or a freeze-thaw destroys a road. They might have a box culvert they need to replace. Those aren't really considered in here. That just essentially reduces your cost per mile that they have available to them. Also tried to, just a note, tried to make it apples to apples the best I could. There are some specials that do not have any staff or equipment or shops that they have to maintain. So those numbers weren't reduced a lot, but for example, C1 and C2, we obviously have staff, equipment, shops, so the full sales tax that we receive does not get put into the road. About half of that is to pay for our employees' benefits, equipment, insurance, things like that. So if you have, whichever groups have employees and things like that to take care of, it got reduced by a certain amount. If you didn't have any employees to take care of, that got reduced by a lesser amount. So again, just trying to make sure that everyone understands that while we might receive $5 million in sales tax, we don't have $5 million to put into the roads. And then the next couple graphs, I call these pave to pave. It's essentially assuming all things are equal and you have all of your roads are hot mix asphalt and you start from scratch. If you pave one road, how long does it take you to get through the rest of your system and back to that road? With the sales tax program, you can see that some folks are, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one here. Here we go. It essentially takes the county with the sales tax program about 30 years. It's the same for Selmore Special, and Billing Special is a little over 25 years. Some folks it takes about 5 years to get through that cycle with the sales tax program. So you can see how much they're benefiting from that. But I also showed it without to show that, again, Stoneshire with the 5 miles, it looks like they're struggling, but it's not a huge mileage that they maintain. But it kind of levels the playing field more. You can see the rest of the specials are pretty much in line with C1 and C2 at that point when you remove the program. So what I wanted to show with that was the proposal to phase this out doesn't necessarily, it wouldn't appear that it would cause a special road district to fail in any way. They might not be doing as well as they are right now. You know, some folks with $12,000 to $20,000 per mile, that's really nice. I wish we had that. And really, you know, another possibility that we have, if you all would like to see this phased out, when we phased out the cities, we had what was called a municipal cost share that we created. Funds are put into that cost share every quarter. It's in our 235 capital projects. We could rename that to the local agency cost share fund. Have those funds available for any special road districts that do have a problem that they cannot fund themselves. So they have a box culvert failure that people live behind and they can't get out without having to fix it. We would be able to support them through that program. The thing that we would not be able to do is have folks just do general maintenance and preventative maintenance. It's hard to share that fund for them to do that when we are struggling so much to even just get our roads paved. So I've talked a lot. I will stop. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I spent a significant amount of time visiting with you on this and going through it because you're right, as things get tight, the first thing we have to start doing is pulling from the outside before we start crumbling from the inside or cutting from the inside. And so, you know, in my opinion, I think option B on that is the fastest cut that we have, but we also remember if things even get tighter, we have the ability, even though this is set up, to decline to share that anyway. So it's something we could do anyway, even though, it's not written out that way. But just as the same as the needs were in 2020 when they cut it from the city, we haven't had an increase to your budget in a long time, and we know with inflation and what that's going, it's the same as taking a cut. And so I think, going through those numbers with you and going through that, it's not something that, it's a necessity. It's not something that I feel is really an option. Rather, it's us just voting no every year and what we're handing out, or actually phasing it out so that it allows them the ability to start budgeting separately and making sure that they're aware.
So I had asked for some of these graphs, and I appreciate the fact that it's in the packet, everybody can see it, and you can look and see that, my side of the county, 273.5 miles. Commissioner Williams, 285 and a quarter, roughly, as compared to 5.3, 11.1, 30 and a half, 15.8. The largest one, Ozark Special, 101 miles. So we have a lot of miles. We're sending a lot of money back out the door. And, when you look at, say, Billings, we just approved for their levy to go on the ballot. That's in addition to their already established levy, for a 4-year capital improvement project or whatever the case may be. Any of these other road districts have the exact same opportunity to say, hey, we need to do a certain project. Would you give us 4 years? No different than the city of Ozark has their half-cent transportation sales tax that revolves every couple of years. So these road districts have the ability to do that, but they're banking on us sending that money to them when our own roads are failing, when we have gravel roads out here in the county, or we're unable to provide certain things where maybe we could put a box culvert in instead of having a low water crossing. And so I'm in favor of, because we have to, we know that the dollar doesn't stretch across the road as far as it used to. I'm in favor of phasing them out. I think, in my opinion, 5 years at 20% each year starting in fiscal 26 or calendar 26 would be my preference.
Which
it gets them a little bit, well, it would be modifying option B. Instead of doing 25% each year, just do 20%, take it over 5 years.
It's a modified B.
Yeah.
It's not on there, but.
Just because it's not such an abrupt change to them, it gives them a chance to plan. I do like the fact with the option, having the 235 account set up, if they have a specific project that we possibly could assist them with, we could always look at that application and potentially help them out in a pinch. But again, they have the ability to do the same thing that Billings does and say, hey, can you give us 4 years? We need to put the levy in place for 4 years so we can take care of this project. But ultimately, it is very hard when I'm having, and Commissioner Williams said this a minute ago, when I'm having conversations with people about the state of our roads, and saying, hey, we can only stretch so much, but then we're sending 600,000. We could be sending 600,000 annually out to other agencies. Well, why are you doing that when my road in front of my house is bad? Yeah. So there's a concern there, and I just found out yesterday that for some reason Ozark Special has severed their contract with the city of Ozark. Their memorandum of understanding that we put in place back in 2009 or 10, I can't remember specifically which year that was, that had operated in great function, so I'm not sure what's going on there, and I think maybe we need to probably be brought up to speed. If you have additional information at a later date, you can give us that. But that's an area of concern for me. You're not wanting to partner with the city of Ozark in that shared snow plowing and paving. Potentially violating the state statute where you're supposed to spend at least 25% of your overall budget inside the municipalities in which you serve. I think over the past few years, they've been sending Fremont Hills a check annually because Fremont Hills threatened to sue them because they had stopped sending them a check. So they've got to figure their problem out. At the same time, they're receiving a larger amount by far in levy monies than what we are in C1 and C2, and so I just don't think it's a responsible thing for us to do with our citizens to keep forsaking their roads to help out other areas that already have established levies and could put together a 4-year plan and raise the levy for a short period of time to accomplish projects. So I would make a motion if it's appropriate time to kind of modify that B to the 20% over 5 years, just so it's not so abrupt. But I do want to start in 26. I don't want to do A and go ahead and leave it at 100%.
And I would second that because we know that each year, even though they apply, we can deny that if we get in a pinch where we need that somewhere in an extreme. So
it's an annual program,
correct,
just like any grant that I would apply for with the state
correct,
or anyone else.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
it's
I'll
not a guarantee.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. As long as everyone understands that clearly that we may not be able to hold to that 20% every year because we're going to start seeing changes in the way we do things. I think Show Me Christian County will be on the agenda for December the 4th to approve their budget. I'll be working with Miss Amy on that and see what her recommendation is. But all the other things that we've done, soil and water conservation, Missouri Council extension, all those things, everything's going to be subject to change at this point. Lots of changes will be made in 2026, and so we'll see what happens. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because motion and a second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. So it passes at that change. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is, again, we got...
We're like, what'd you tear up now?
Well, we really tore some of that.
And this is a great example of why we need to do these things, because all of a sudden here we've got a large, unexpected
piece of equipment that we only have one that has to be fixed.
We're not planning to spend $36,000 and all of a sudden, here you go.
Especially towards the end of the year,
right,
when you've used everything that you thought you were going to use.
Well, we got that one, what we're going to talk about, and then we have one that Ms. Kim and I signed yesterday. Is that 46? How much is that? 46,000?
46,000. It's a common one. It'll be on the December 4th agenda. It is the Stewart Creek, Mr. Ford's
So we'll go back to this one first.
One at a time.
Emergency at a time.
Yes,
No, they got a copy of it. So this is emergency 2025-3 on a service and wheel loader. This emergency for a service wheel loader. The highway department took the vehicle over to see what was wrong with it, and the vendor literally had to disassemble the equipment to determine the problem. And then you've seen the quote attached from Luby Equipment. Our highway administrator filled out the emergency procurement form that basically, and I'll just let you say what it is.
So we took it up there. We were having clutch issues. Long story short, turns out we needed, after some oil samples, etc., we needed a new transmission. So that is the bulk of the cost. I think it's 25,000 in parts and close to 10 in labor, somewhere around there. We have one loader per side, but those loaders are used to actually put the salt in the back of our dump trucks for winter. So we thought this would be a good time for an emergency procurement to make sure that we had that loader available to us for any kind of winter weather.
We're not going to have any.
Well,
I hope.
hopefully not till hopefully not till January at least. Yeah.
Okay.
So our recommendation, even though when there's an emergency by statute, I contact the presiding commissioner, we talk about it, we go over it, so he's already approved this. We are supposed to go in front of the next scheduled meeting to present this on the minutes, but I do wish that you would make a motion to approve this.
Yeah, so we need a motion to approve that
I
expenditure.
can make the motion to approve the procurement for 2025-3.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it passes.
Stay here. Yeah, stay here. Okay, so the next one that we have is, this is for ITB 2025-13, annual contract for bulk highway salt de-icing. Highway Department anticipates ordering between 0 and 1,500 tons annually. This will be for delivery for both Common 1 and Common 2. 106 invitations were issued. We had 2 proposals and we had 1 no bid. The 2 proposals were from Central Salt and Williams Diversified Materials. We actually wanted to, and we've done this before, we wanted, or our highway administrator wanted to award the contract to both of them just to make sure that we were good. And this happened again several years ago. Williams Diversified was the lowest price. Central Salt was the second, but when we approached Central Salt, yet again, and to tell them we'd like to have 2 contracts, they declined. They don't do that. They just have 1. And I'm sure it's probably for planning purposes. So with that said, it will be now $93.75 per ton delivered. So my recommendation is to award to Williams Diversified Material the lowest and best overall provider.
How has the salt prices been as far as over the last few years? Is it skyrocketed or has it held pretty good?
They have been super steady for the last decade.
Nice.
So obviously, they're located in Baxter Springs, Kansas. So there's the salt mines in Kansas. So there's not a lot of transfer, shipping, etc. So it gets trucked directly from that location to us, which I think helps keep the prices fairly low.
So on are we using a salt mix with aggregate? Or are we
do.
just going straight salt on this? Are we
So
mixing it on
this is
site?
the salt. So we get what is called ice control from the local quarries, which is essentially that angular aggregate. And that gets mixed in with our salt. And then
Okay.
depending on the event, if we expect a lot of rain first, we typically have a higher mix of aggregate in with the salt so that it doesn't dissolve. And if it's straight ice or snow, then we go with more salt.
Okay, so you're mixing that on site?
Yes.
And you're still under contract with the aggregate
Yes,
portion?
with the quarries. That's part of our annual resurfacing and aggregate bids we do every
Okay,
year.
perfect.
Yep.
So do we have leftover salt?
Our salt barns are full right now. So at the end of the season, we make sure that they are full. And then as we get into the winter weather events, we order more.
Okay, so it doesn't really deteriorate?
No, we
much.
have a really nice salt barn. We had 2 new ones that we purchased in 2017 that kind of have those fabric airplane hangar looking buildings. But it stays really nice in there. And of course, mixing it with the aggregate. Every once in a while, the guys have to go in with different types of equipment and just mix it up so that it doesn't stick together too much. But
Yeah.
we do a good job.
All right, very good. Need a motion to
So
approve
moved.
that?
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, passes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next one, Ms. Kim.
It's not here today. Okay, so this is, well, actually, this is for you too, Miranda, but that's okay. This is for our uniform and supply rental services. This affects our highway department, recycling center, and our maintenance department. They use Centos for all their uniforms. They also have some mop and mats that they use. So we're using the Omnia Cooperative Contract. We've been a member of Omnia for many, many years. So we recommend renewing Centos contract for additional year from January 1st through December 31st.
Is there a cost increase on that?
There is not a cost increase on
That's
this.
what I thought. So that's good. Okay. Any comments, questions?
No, it's,
Okay, need a motion to approve the contract with Centos.
so moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
You're up.
Okay, so
Sure.
this one,
Not you.
no, this is
Not you,
for the
Deb.
jail.
Okay, I'll just.
Unless you're ready.
We're like, no, no.
Just get ready. Just get ready.
It's the sheriff.
This is for records management software for the jail management system. This award is for Omega Software, records management software with the Sheriff's Office Jail Management System. Its core function is to help organizations manage the incident life cycle from reporting and dispatch to investigations, evidence. It goes on. We're utilizing the state of Missouri contract for this procurement. And I just, if you have any questions about this or anything you want to.
I don't.
So, it is what it is.
It
It's
is.
a software.
That's it.
So, the Sheriff Cole and Captain Craig are pleased with how it's working. And our recommendation is to award an additional year to Omnigo.
Okay. Any comments or questions on this?
Nope.
No? Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, next one.
This is on our terms and conditions that we currently have. It was time to update them since we have gotten electronic bidding. There's been some changes with electronic bidding. And so I just wanted to go through this with you for just a brief minute. I've had both of our attorneys, both Hamilton and Fax, have gone through this, and they've blessed it. But if you want to go through it with me, that's fine. But a lot of it was just cleaning up language. I did a whole section on electronic bidding and what that meant. If the system went down, what would happen in that case. Talked about, we went a little bit more on the sovereign immunity and what that meant for the county and how that protects us. We also, when we went to e-bidding, Counselor Fax wanted us to have something still in ink written. And so what we do with all of our bids online is we attach a declaration page that they basically have to sign. And they submit that with their bid online. A while back, our auditor asked if that we would include some verbiage that would include, have the vendors ever been disbarred from SAM, which is the federal kind of their business registration. And so I added that to the declaration page. So that is all in there as well. We talked more about ownership. That once we receive any specifications or drawings or copies of thereof, that those become our property. We talked about, and you would think this, we're actually saying the contract documents shall be governed by the laws of the state of Missouri. Again, a lot of cleanup language, and that's really it. So I think this was a long time coming. I'm glad that we went through this, and I appreciate your help. So I would like to, I recommend that you approve our new terms and conditions, and this is for our purchasing terms and conditions for goods and services.
Great work. Any comments or questions?
No, it looks very good to me.
Okay, very good. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes. That's great work. That's important.
It is important.
Okay.
I would suggest we do that on an annual review.
Okay.
Todd gets to come up now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. And I'm going to be having our policy, our purchasing policy manual, that will be on the next meeting as kind of
Okay.
in conjunction with our
Okay.
terms and conditions.
Yes, and I think that would be a good idea to do an annual review of that. Just, won't take long, but just to see if there's any new
A
things.
lot of
that happen.
changes, or,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Last item.
Last item. So, this is using a contract award for our TIPS, which is a cooperative contract. TIPS, I've used TIPS since 2004, when I was a buyer for the city of Nashville. This award is for a project management company called Navigate Building Solutions. They would be the primary management responsibility for the new campus project and shall coordinate all project matters. Navigate will serve as the county's owner, principal point of contact, and serve as a liaison between the architect, engineers, and contractors. It's really more putting them in a project management situation. As you know, what we did before, we did that in-house. And that was very difficult on this person sitting next to me, doing his own job and also taking on this responsibility. Did a magnificent job, but it was a lot to take on someone. And so we actually had 2 vendors come in and talk to us, national companies, and kind of apples and oranges companies. One more was on the construction contract side. Navigate is more on the project management side. We would be doing the bids ourselves and helping possibly with GHN, our architect, putting the bids out. So with all that said, and I'll let Todd say a few things, but I have given you their master services agreement that we could use going forward on an as-needed basis. I've given you their exhibits, their task order, which actually outlines what they would do. And this would be, again, I'm going to let you take this because you are more familiar with what it is. So.
Okay. So I think one of the issues with the first phase was, how do we know if we're paying too much for something? Ultimately, we got bids in for the project, but you still always have in the back of your mind, did we do as well as we could? I think one of the functions that Navigate can provide for us is to help us get a good opinion of the construction costs. They've got the data for the current prices for materials and labor. I mean, they'll take what we plan to do, actually they have taken it apart into all the little pieces, and given us a new opinion of the construction cost to finish this infill, and I think it makes everybody so far feel a lot better about it than we did maybe 6 months ago. So that's one of the benefits. They're going to help optimize the bid process. We had, I think, 5 bidders last time around, and I believe that they can assist GHN in getting the word out and hopefully getting that bid number up to many more. And the more competition there is, the better price we're going to get. And bottom line, they're going to enhance our oversight on the project by being a third party that's working for us. That does, I mean, this is what they do, and they can hold people accountable, advise us on whatever situation may arise, and help make sure the county is getting what it's paying for. In the task order and the scope of work that we provided to you, it's a long list of items. Some of those items overlap with what GHN provides for us, but that's fine. I think worst case scenario, it's just going to make those aspects better and give us more confidence moving forward in what we intend to do. We've got Katie from Navigate with us here, who can possibly answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, I dove deeply into the project when we were coming out of phase 1, starting in phase 2. I did a lot of homework on Navigate, visiting with the city of Nixa and the Nixa schools who have used them in major projects, and both felt very strongly that not only the did it go very smoothly, but they felt like they saved significant amount of money more than the cost. And not only having that, but having one project manager overlooking everything and answering to them, and great with getting back. And that was the number one thing, is what are we getting? You know, as we move forward. And just, I don't want to talk numbers exactly because it will go to bid, but already from numbers that we were kind of roughly given, we're already talking about saving hundreds of thousands of dollars and maybe even over $1 million by the time we're done with the bid out system. So a significant difference already. I've been impressed with their communication, and like I said, they come highly recommended from other places that have used them locally, even though they're from, you know, the St. Louis area, St. Louis, Kansas City area.
Yeah, I think having a third party in this position is extremely beneficial, because while, you know, anybody could serve as a general contractor, you know, on building a house.
Right.
General contractors are there for a reason, because they know what needs to be done. They know all the scope of deliverables and noticing things before they ever arise, you know, to limit the potential of change orders that are coming is huge. And
to be able to say, to really argue, is this necessary?
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing. I've looked at some of the information that Commissioner Williams has had, and the ability to save money. You know, we know that we are in a position, is it 2 years out, 4 years out, that we're going to have a ton of pressure inside this building housing the necessary people to do projects. So we've got to move out there, regardless of what the Ozark chit chat says. There is going to be a necessity, because the ever expanding size of our county takes more people to operate it and run it. We know the court's going to be coming back into this building. We've got to be able to move out there, at least part of our offices out there sooner than probably any of us would like to do. So we've got to move forward. Budgets are tough, and if there's the ability to save a significant portion of taxpayer money to pull this project, you know, up and complete it, or at least partially complete, you know, phase 2, or get phase 2 done, then to me it would be ridiculous not to.
Yeah, I think we're establishing a relationship with a company that can help us towards that end as well, as far as beginning to plan what that's going to look like, and to facilitate some of those discussions amongst office holders.
And us talking budgetarily, the auditor's in here, I'm visiting with her, making sure we have the funds for this as we move forward. And this is all from, the money is from the sales of other things. This isn't money we're pulling from general revenue to go, oh my gosh, now we're trying to fund. These are things as we're moving forward, we're selling and generating just the same as we would that building when people move there, moving forward. Am I correct in saying that? Okay.
Well, I want to say, Miss Katie, so we're looking forward. I'm probably the one that didn't know very much about your company at all, and I've done some research too, and I appreciate what Commissioner Williams has done, studying Nixa and everything like that. I think we're going to have a great relationship. I know that you all will do well. I just want to point out to people, you know, we try to tell citizens we have a lot of financial advisors out there, and so I just want to let people know that this project is a multi-year project, our 40-acre campus, and it's just getting started basically, and we got a lot to go, a lot to do, but we're paying as we go. You know, we have a lot of advisors. I think we have a lot of money in this county, and I find it very interesting. We took the book off today, but we'll put it right back on as soon as the commission meeting is over. I have only had 2 citizens since last Thursday come in, and I spent time with them on the 502-page budget that Miss Amy, a very good budget, hard budget to accomplish because of the circumstances. I've only had 2 people, and I'm inviting everyone to call us, come in and look at it, look online, do something. Just don't say things on Facebook that's wrong every time. Come in and search it out yourself. We have the best transparency portal ever. And so I'm just getting a little bit tired of some of the erroneous comments and nasty comments and actually spelling out nasty words. So I just don't get it, and I think we're stirring the pot out there, and it's all negative and wrong information. So I applaud Todd, I applaud you, Kim, I applaud Amy, or Katie. I tell you what, we're doing the right thing. We're paying as we go. Most people don't do that anymore. They would borrow money or they would bond money, and we're not doing that. We're probably one of the most responsible people that we can be. So point out, I'm just encouraging people, if you see waste, you come and show it to us, okay? I'll sit here with you all day long, I'm here every day. Point it out to us. We want to know.
He's like,
Okay.
get it.
Okay.
Get it, Lynn. Tell him.
Okay, thank you. All right. We need to make a motion. Any other comments, questions?
No, I think this is the right way to go.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve
Let you
TIP
make-
24061.
Okay, I think that's one of the most important things. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, it passes. I think this
Thank you
is
for driving
gonna be-
down.
This is going to be a good
Working
deal.
with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
They are in Missouri.
That's right.
Okay, I think we're ready for communications. Do you gentlemen have anything that you want to communicate?
Not necessarily. I'll be working remotely tomorrow, out of town over the weekend at the MAC conference, be back Tuesday afternoon. So anybody that needs to get in touch with me, give me a call or text me. I'll get back to you.
I just had, I know we don't have a commission meeting next week because of Thanksgiving, so just wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So, very good. I'm just going to, I don't want to bore you, but these are not necessarily in the order of importance, but things that I thought of last night that we do need to let people know. So our Christmas lights will start on tonight, talking to Richard, our maintenance director, that they've got all the Christmas lights ready to be turned on tonight. We had the Christmas parade.
They were on last night.
Oh, were they on last
Yeah.
night? Okay, so they're a night ahead.
I was enjoying them while I was washing dishes.
Well, I tell you what, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. And our Christmas parade is this Saturday night. Both Commissioner Jackson and I will be at the Lake of the Ozarks at a meeting. And my phone number, I don't mind, 417, for the record, 417-986-8103. Call me while I'm up there in Lake of the Ozarks at the annual MAC meeting. And we have meetings starting Saturday afternoon, and we'll be back Tuesday afternoon when we get through. If we need an emergency meeting next week, it would have to be on Wednesday. If something definitely can't wait, we'll try to do it on Wednesday. We're gone Thursday and Friday for the holidays, so that is something important. Miss Hayward, you want to say anything?
She gone.
Oh, she's gone?
Stepped out.
Oh, okay. We're going to say Friday Night Lights is December the 12th. She's the expert on that, but I just want to always tell people, it's a little bit ahead of time, but December 12th will be here before you know it. We're only doing one Friday Night Lights, and we got to pray that we got good weather that night. I don't know if there's a makeup night or not. That's with the Historic River District and things like that. But we'll have carriage rides, we'll have a little train ride for the kids, and a lot of Christmas caroling at the gazebo and all kinds of things going on. So, and the Springfield newspaper is actually doing a special supplement this year for the first time, and they actually have included Ozark as a destination place to come down and look at the park, at the lights, come here and look at the lights. And things like that. So we've got some pictures that'll be in the paper and stuff like that. So good publicity for Ozark and Christian County. Let's see what else we have. I think that's about it. So
Christmas parade is Saturday night.
Yeah, Christmas parade. I think I said Saturday night. It'll be well attended. We're going to miss it. I hate that, but it'll be a great, well-attended. I'm hoping the weather will be nice for them, for the families and things like that. But despite the weather, it's still going to be a big crowd, I'm sure. Chamber does a good job. Chris Russell and everybody does a great job. So we have a lot of great events going on in Christian County, and makes our home a better place to live. So anything else anybody has to communicate? Okay, then I think then we will now go into...
Hey, Lynn.
Yes.
Would you do a brief recess so we can get documents signed
I need
before
to
you
use
go
the
to
restroom.
close?
Okay, yeah, we'll do a 5-7 minute recess, and then we will go right back into